Hello everyone, welcome to another custom model segment, and after almost 3 years of not showing any wooden railway content, it has been a long while since I last showed anything. So I hope you guys are excited for what you're going to be seeing today. And today has marked 8 years since I started my YouTube channel back in 2017, and it has been a very long time since I started it. So I'm going to show you guys what I have today. So I'm going to start off with the first custom of the video. So if the camera will focus. This is a Blue Mountain Quarry truck painted gray, like in a soda livery. So this came from a BMQ truck from the Scruffy in the Dynamite Cars 3-pack. I think I still have the Scruffy, or I got this one separate. Not sure, but I do remember getting this like, what, 3 years ago? And I hadn't shown you guys until now. So it still has the regular face, of course. It just has like blue slate, you know? So this could just be considered a Blue Mountain Quarry truck that carries regular slate. Alright, so that's our first one. Now let's start off with this one right here. So you guys might remember this guy. This is Carl, the gray truck from Medieval Misadventures / Popular Paxton. So if you guys remember, Carl was originally a ballast truck, but now he carries coal. And of course I made this from a regular rickety, and I printed out his face. So if you guys are wondering how I'm getting the faces for the good trucks and the bad trucks, I get these from captures. Like, I capture it off my phone, and then I just upload it to a document, and then I just print them out. So that's how I get that, if you guys want a refresher, since it's been like a long time since I've actually showed this stuff off. But yeah, here's Carl. We got another truck at last. Now this one isn't actually a custom, it's a truck you might be familiar with. But you guys remember Harry, right? So I got a new a dairy car. Yeah, dairy car. It came separate with this milk churn here. So we finally have Harry back after a couple of years. And if you're wondering, yes, I am gonna make Dread and Chris. I think I still have Oliver's model, or I probably used it for something else. Either way, I'm still gonna get the 5 dairy cars at some point. But yeah, here's Harry. Alright. Now this one isn't also a custom, it's just a regular truck. So this is also a Blue Mountain Quarry truck that I decided to keep the red livery on. He still has slate and the regular logo. So I just decided to keep this truck as a regular truck. So now we can have 2 trucks, but obviously with different liveries. They still have the same faces and all. Now then, and this is just another custom, but this was a Bachmann tanker that I took the horizontal pieces from, and then I just used foam tape, and then I stuck it onto a chassis. I think this was originally Edwards' chassis, although it does say Elise at the bottom. I can't remember which truck. Actually, yes, I do. This was a truck that was originally used for when I had a few models of Harry here. But then I did some switching around over the past few years when you guys didn't see me making these videos. So in other words, it was behind the scenes, you could say. But yeah, this is a Bachmann tanker painted in a black livery, and it's just a regular standard tanker, you know. So I'm thinking this is just going to be a normal truck with no face, just part of a regular goods train, you know what I'm saying? Alright, now here are some familiar trucks to you guys. Here we have Black Licorice, Scaredy's brother, if the camera will focus. Come on. There we go. Yeah, Black Licorice, Scaredy's older brother. So, as you know, he's made from our Ertl tar tanker that I just painted over the word tar, gave him a mini gator face. So I guess you could say we have all of Scaredy's siblings back together now at last. Speaking of the other sibling, here is Raven, Scaredy's sister. Come on. I'm getting used to this new camera. Oh yeah, if you guys are wondering, yes, I am recording with a new camera because over the past few years I used my phone actually, but now I don't need to use my phone, so I could just like edit this video in any way I want. I mean, when it came to me making customs in the past, I did still use my phone, but it had a pause button so I could pause the video and shift things around and all that. So that's how I did some of my old videos, if you're remembering that. But now I have a laptop up that I could easily edit with a video editor program and all that. So yeah, anyway, so this is a Erdl Hitmouth milk tanker, and of course it has the Minnie's gator face with eyelashes added onto it. So now we have Scaredy, Raven, and Black Licorice. So now all that's left is Scaredy's parents, Jamie and Tara, the Jam and Tar tankers. Alright, now here are some other familiar trucks that Popular Paxton and I think another person did. Here are the two Silly Vans, Erdl Silly Vans, and they now are stuck on one railway chassis. I believe these tender chassis came from Connor and Caitlin, and I think I turned the tender bodies into scrap things. I probably painted brown at some point. But yeah, here are the two Erdl Silly Vans. And of course, they're not going to have names, of course. Just going to be regular vans, or regular troublesome truck vans, you could say. Now, here's another truck from Medieval Misadventures. It's Roffus, the dinosaur fossil boxcar. So he appeared at near the tail end of the series, like I'd say 2 or 3 episodes before the series ended a couple years back. And of course, the face came from Shapeways. I think I forgot who made the faces, but yeah, so I ordered the face off of Shapeways and painted it myself, and I think I did a pretty good job. You guys haven't seen Roffus up till now, but I hope you guys like the way I did the face. Now here's a actually, I'm going to save this one for some time later. Here's one. This is Atlas, the mine engine. So, Atlas is a character that was created by the Reverend W. Ardrey himself, but he didn't actually look like this. I believe he looked like an American design of a narrow gauge engine. But for me and multiple others, Atlas is going to be a mine engine. So, I used the body from Legos and a little bit of clay I stuck on the top. I printed out his nameplate and his number plates, and if it's not obvious, yes, he is the Minnesota Railways number 8 for me. Although, I could change that in the future. Maybe, I don't know. But for now, I think Alice is going to be the Minnesota Railways number 8. And of course, I'm not sure where his chassis came from. It probably came from James or something. Either way, it came from a small... It probably came from a tender or something at some point. But, yes, so here is Atlas, the Minnesota engine. Now, here's a character I created several years ago. Oh, but you guys have... But he's already, he's gotten new modifications. This is Simon, the engine made out of Proteus's remains in my series. If the camera will focus so you can see him. Yeah, this is Simon. There we go. He is cobalt blue, if you guys remember, and he's the SKR's number 21 for me. So, for me, in my headcanon, when Proteus fell off the old Iron Bridge, they say his remains were never found, but they were found, for me, actually. And then when they were taken to the works, Simon was born out of Proteus's body. And if you're wondering about Proteus, yes, he will come back at some point. However, if you guys probably remember how, you know. But if you don't, well, I'm going to save that for the future. But yeah, so Simon was made out of Proteus's remains. However, when you guys last saw him, I think he only had a black buffer beam, if I remember correctly. But I gave him red buffer beams with white buffers, because I thought that looked much better, in my opinion. So Simon now has red buffer beams, and yeah. I don't know if he had a coupling link. I think he did, but it was probably gray to make it look like a coupling outline because, you know, his buffer beams were black. But now he has red buffer beams, and that's much better. Oh yeah, there's a whistle on top of him. Not sure if I showed that when I did. And I think the lamp still works, actually. Yep, the lamp still works. But yeah, he was made out of Proteus's remains. As you can see, he is made out of a Proteus model with the yellow. I think I was trying to do an experiment where I took off the back wheel and replaced it with a small wheel, but that didn't work, so I ended up hammering the wheel back into place after it was taken out, and it still looks good. Yeah, it still rolls along smoothly. And of course, you guys know his wheels were made out of clear nail polish. Because I think I was trying to repaint the wheels, because I think they got chipped or something. I'm not sure, but anyways, there's the updated version of Simon from a few years back. Now, here is a character that appeared out of one of my, out of the very last video I made before I went to trains for a little while. I'm still going to do trains videos, but I'm still going to try and make time for wooden railway videos too, if you guys are wondering. But here is Aiden the Ginty. Now, Aiden well, he's a character, I'm not actually sure who created this character, but he is on a website called Crosby Trains Works for trains and all that. So if you want him, he's a free character to have, since he's on Crosby Trains Works. So he technically is a public character. But he is supposed to be a Ginty. He's not a 14XX like Oliver. So Aiden is a Ginty. And he's got the early crest of the British Railways. I might make that smaller because that looks a little too big in my opinion, I think. But I made him out of an Oliver model. Not sure which Oliver model this was. But yeah, I made Aiden out of this and made him a Ginty, of course. He's got red wheels. That's how he looks on Crosby Trains Works, if I remember correctly. I mean, I have him in my game, so yeah, I can just look at him again whenever I want. So yeah, this is Aiden the Ginty, and if you remember, he is a ghost. Well, in my last video, or when it was a wooden railway video, he was. But yeah, this is Aiden the Ginty, and he, of course, has Donald and Douglas's face pack, as you can clearly tell. I gave him a furious face because that was the face he needed to, like, well, scare Morgan in the last video. Even though none of you really saw his face, ever. He only just appeared in shots like this, where you see his smoke box or something, or part of his body, before you actually saw his full body. But you guys never saw his face. But yeah, there is Aiden the Ginty. Oh yeah, and he's got a white running board. However, I might give him a black running board to make it look a little bit more better. Or it might stay like that, I don't know. But there's Aiden the Ginty. Now then, here is a character from my friend, Mr. Bluebell Engine. This is Bobby the Diesel. So he's from British Railway Stories. And like I said, he was created by my friend, Mr. Bluebell Engine. And Mr. Bluebell Engine is actually a really nice person. I've spoken to him a few times, and he's a really great friend to have. I mean, I've known him for like a few years now, but it wasn't until like last year, I believe, I officially got in contact with him and started to chat with him every now and then. But yeah, this is Mr. Bluebell Engine's character, Bobby the Diesel. So I hope he likes the custom if he watches this video. So there's Bobby. Now, this one isn't a custom, it's a well-known character. It's Devious Diesel himself. So I might use the 08 Diesel like this. Like, I might use this type of Diesel model for my 08 characters. And the TV series ones like Ari, Bert, Splatter, Dodge, Sydney, and Paxton. I hope I'm not forgetting any, but if I am, then we can find out later. But yeah, this is the model I'm going to use for Diesel. I didn't do anything custom about it yet. I might just add buffers and a coupling link on both sides and paint red back here. As long as I can get good at this. But yeah, it's been a little bit, but I can still do it. I don't think I've lost my touch yet. But yeah, I plan to do something about this Diesel. It's going to stay as Diesel, just might add extra details and all. And if you're wondering, yes, this did come in a 3-pack. I have the rest of the pack right there. Actually, I think it was a 4-pack, actually. But you'll see in just a moment. So, there's Diesel. Now, here is another one. This is the assault car that came with Diesel's pack. if I remember correctly. And if you're wondering, until I get another one of these, this one's just gonna stay as is until I could probably get a second one and then create Wildfire, the furnace flower truck from Medieval Misadventures. But yeah, there is the salt car from Diesel's pack. Sorry, I bumped the camera. And of course, we have the other things that came with Diesel's pack. This searchlight car. I think the light still works. Let me see. No, I need to put batteries in it. But yeah, this is the searchlight car. And then here's the truck that came with it, with like warning signs and all. Just stand this up here for fun. Whoops. Never mind. So yeah, this is the sign that came with it, like a barrier sign. Then here's the truck with a little X on the side. Actually, I'd say it's for like materials or something like that. And now I'm gonna show the last three. If you're wondering about these in the background, these are just unfinished stuff, but I'll just show these off real quickly before I show the official last three. This is Steamer from Five Nights at Smuggler's 4. So Steamer, it was made out of a Scaredy model. I'm not sure which one exactly, but I made him. The thing I gotta do is just print out his face. So yeah, Steamer will be done, and he will also be appearing in my upcoming series, Sudria and Island Rails. I'm not sure when that series is going to start off, but it will happen in the future. I know it will. But there's Steamer. And this was an original custom from my friend Hawan Takaba, or Jeremy the E1. Yes, Jeremy is an E1 now. No, actually, no, wait. No, he's an LNER J72, my bad. But yes, Jeremy is now officially an LNER J72, so his E2 model might be replaced for something else, but this character was supposed to be one of his characters before he upgraded it. This was supposed to be Jackson, the Sterling single. He's like a brother of Emily's, but now he's going to be updated to a Caledonian Railway single, so I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do for that. And as you can see, I have Gordon's tender. So yes, before I decided to do train stuff for a while, I did get Gordon. However, Gordon's not finished. I did do his tender though, as you can see, with the tail lamp and the buffer beams and the interior of his tender. Gordon's not finished because, as you'll find out why. Now, here are the next few. So these are also things you saw before I decided to go to trains for a while. So I got Donald and Douglas, the Scottish twins. So let me show off Donald first. So I believe Donald came separately, and then I got his tender separately, but Douglas came together. I don't recall correctly. But yes, I did get these Scottish twins. I gave them buffer beams, and then I gave the handrails a little bit of silver up there, so it actually looked like handrails. I have seen some experiments where people took out this there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a dome or if this is the dome, but I might do an experiment like that in the future where I give Donald and Douglas actual funnels. I don't know, but that could happen, you never know. But yes, here's Donald, and there's his tender. I didn't really do much about his tender. The thing I did was the buffer beams and the tail lamp, which I think I did pretty good on. And the same thing applies to Douglas here. And now on to the final engine. So as you all can tell, yes, this is Edward. I'm not sure when I got this Edward model, but I have it now. So Edward, well, it's the 2010 Edward, I believe, or 2012. I could be mistaken. It's made out of several different Edwards. I'm not sure which Edward body this came from exactly, but I know this bogie right here came from Thomas. But the front two wheels are, I think they were from Adventures models, if I remember correctly, or Take and Play. Either way, Edward has take and play wheels in the front, so he looks like an actual, well, Furnace K2. And of course, I gave him the white running board, the TV series, buffer beams, and all that. I think I had to touch up his sides because they were chipped when I got them, but I think due to my painting skills, I was able to do a pretty good job of fixing them. And of course, I added the whistle on top of his cab. I think his cab was chipped too, but either way, I got Edward done. So if you're wondering about Gordon, yes, I'm going to give him the same treatment as Edward. I think I have some take and play wheels somewhere that I could give to Gordon, and possibly a trailing wheel to make him look like an actual LNER A0 or A1. Yeah, people say, well, in the Railway series, Gordon is a prototype of his class, nicknamed the A0. So, yeah, I'm going to give the same treatment to Gordon as I did for Edward here. And then, I'm not sure where this tender came from. It's one of Edward's tenders, just not sure which one. But I just gave it, well, the buffer beam and the tail lamp, as you can see. And I gave it the outline here. And, well, I guess that's all the customs. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I guess that's all the customs I have to show today. So, yeah, thank you guys for 8 years on YouTube. And I know it's been like a long time since you guys last saw me do any of these types of videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little comeback to making videos I made in the past. So if you're wondering what's going to be happening in the future, well, as you probably have seen, I have started my own TCAUs, and I've uploaded some stuff to Wattpad and all that. And I've been editing videos better, so who knows, the same thing could be said for Wood and Railway videos in the future. I will be resurrecting those at some point. And if you're wondering about my series, Ghost Engines at War, yes, that is going to be remastered too, with voice actors and different characters because of circumstances in the past that we've had to deal with. And also, if you haven't noticed, my character's gone through a lot of changes over the years, as well as some of my other friends like Andre85, Agent Andrews, Train Kiddo 4, or Andre, Adam, and Morgan, if you remember correctly. So they will have models updated as well in the future. Not sure when, but that will happen. But anyways, thank you guys for 8 years on YouTube, and I look forward to many more in the future. And thank you for making this a great comeback to me making Wood and Railway customs. I hope to see you guys soon with the next few videos that will be coming out in the future. Goodbye.